Good morning or good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeremy Nathan. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm with the Chattanooga Azure Fabric Meetup Group. Thank you so much for taking time out of your workday to join us. We have Juan Vazquez Dimas joining from DT Software Services based out of Monterrey, Mexico, where he's a partner with Microsoft, and he's going to be talking about using AI and Copilot Studio today. So we thank you so much for being here, and I'll also put in the chat for you all to join our other events. And yeah, go for it, Juan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jeremy. And yeah, I was really happy to be here with you. And today we're going to see how Copilot Studio can help us automate different processes in the business or in the organizations. And we will see how this integrates with different AI services. And that's basically what we're going to be doing today. So, like you said, my name is Juan Vazquez. I'm based in Monterrey, Mexico. And I've been a Microsoft certified trainer for almost 25 years. So yeah, basically I started with SQL Server 6.5, Visual Basic. So it's been a long way, but it's been really amazing sharing with students, right? And now I have a few certifications for Power Platform as a solutions architect, developer, functional consultant, and others like Power BI data analyst. So that's basically what I've been doing for the last few years regarding certifications. And yeah, feel free to ask anything about, at any point in the presentation. I'm here to help. Probably I don't know all the answers, but I promise that I will do my research in case of a question I don't know. So yeah, today let's talk about Copilot Studio and how Copilot Studio can help us automate different processes. And I really like doing demos. Okay, I think it's easier to explain different concepts or different products with demos because theory, I mean, it's good, but when you see everything working together, the different products and services, I think it's better. That's when you learn the most. So we will have a few demos. We will start seeing Copilot connecting to Dataverse to read and write information to a database. And then we will see how we can integrate Copilot with our own data. And I think that is amazing because we know how to use GPT to ask generic questions, but how about our products? How about our services? How about other information that we own? And we want to let the users ask questions about, and obviously Copilot responding to those users. I will show you how to do that. It's not really hard to do that, but you need to know which services you need in order to do this, right? Now, and then we will use pretty basic model that is sentiment analysis. And that's really helpful when you need to get feedback from users and you need to know if it was a positive feedback or negative, or you want to know that and process that information accordingly, right? And there is this new feature, I mean, relative new, named autonomous agents, right? So this is basically when you don't want a UI, when you don't want an agent, and you don't want the user to be interacting with an agent or with an UI, but you want to process information automatically without user intervention. I will show you how to do that with autonomous agents. And finally, I will show you how to use Copilot Studio to process documents and get information and generate information based on artificial intelligence. That's what we will see today. And like I said, feel free to ask at any point. So let's start with some information, some concepts about Copilot Studio. Okay, so we've been using Copilot for a while, and I'm sure you have been asking questions to Copilot like, hey, how do you, I mean, what is Power BI? What is an star schema? Stuff like that. Basically, Copilot or any model will respond to those questions. But with Copilot Studio, what you want to do is you can create your own agents and respond based on your information, and even process information based on what the user enters in this agent, right? So AI basically will help you make your agent smarter, and that's where the interesting thing about Copilot Studio is, right? So Copilot Studio is basically part of the Power Platform, and even if I'm sure you've been working with Power BI to create some BI solutions. Some of you might have used Power Apps to create applications. Actually, the demo is based in Power Apps, and then we use Copilot to create an agent. And Power Automate will help you automate processes, and these are some of the products that we have in Power Platform. Actually, Power Pages will allow you to create websites for suppliers, for customers. But specifically, Copilot is basically to create agents, right? And those agents could be for internal users or external users. So this is basically what we are doing here with this great, amazing tool, right? And I will show you how to create your own agents. And now you have those 5 products, but you also have different components like Dataverse. And basically, Dataverse is the database that we use with Power Platform. Actually, Dataverse is supported by SQL Server. Even when you see a UI in the back, you have SQL Server, and that is great, right? So I will show you how to use AI Builder, and basically AI Builder is a component that simplifies the way that we integrate artificial intelligence in Power Platform, and it's really easy to integrate those models into your applications. Okay, now you also have data connectors, because Power Platform can also integrate with other data sources, like Power BI can connect to SQL Server or Oracle or any other or many other data sources, right? Some products like Power Pages only work with Dataverse. You cannot use SQL Server to create a website with Power Pages. That is a requirement. But Power Apps can connect to SQL Server. Copilot Studio can connect to SQL Server through Power Automate, as I will be showing you. So that is how Copilot Studio is a very important product in the Power Platform. Now, you have many different use cases that you can implement with Copilot Studio, like customer support, supplier interaction, human resources, like, hey, I want to create an agent where people can upload their resume and process that information and make sure that the profile matches a specific job opening, or some of those ideas are great to implement with Copilot Studio, right? And also you can provide product information, lead qualifications, expense management, like people can take a picture of the receipt and then you can process it. So there are many different use cases that we can implement with Copilot Studio, right? And now you can also uh, implement agents with Azure AI Studio, right? So you have Copilot Studio, but the great thing about Copilot Studio is that it's a no-code tool. You don't need to be a developer in order to create agents or copilots, right? So on the other side, if you have Azure AI services, you can also create agents, but the problem is that it's more technical, and probably you need to create some code with C# or Python, right? But obviously it's cheaper. It's way cheaper to use Azure AI because you're paying when you're using Copilot Studio. Basically, you are paying for that layer that simplifies the implementation of agents. On the other side, Azure AI is cheaper, but you have to have some knowledge of software development, right? But I mean, it's both sides, right? Now, with Copilot Studio, you need to create this agent, and then you can create your own topics, right? A topic is a specific part of the conversation. Like if you want to order a computer, you can say, I want to order a computer, and then a topic will be triggered, and then that topic will have a sequence of steps that the agent will be executing, right? But also, you can generate automatic responses with AI, like, hey, I want to add uh, database where you can get the answer. Like if they ask for a specific machine, I have my list of computers, and the agent can take that information and respond to the user. Okay. Also, the third stage would be when the agent doesn't have the answer for the question, then you can escalate that conversation to an omnichannel or human, right? That's how Copilot Studio works. These are the stages, okay? Even you have specific topics, you can generate automatic answers, or you can escalate the conversation. That is basically, and I'm sure that you have called a company and they have automatic responses or they have automatic processes, but if you don't get the answer, or the agent cannot help you, then they transfer with a human. That is the same concept here in Copilot Studio, right? And Copilot Studio allows you to create your own copilots, or even you can extend Copilot for Windows or for 365, or you can create agents for Power Platform. Okay, and now it's as easy as create the agent and then publish. And after that, you can analyze the behavior of the agent and see how many questions were answered correctly or how many were not. So you can improve your agent. So it's basically a loop where you need to be improving your agents. And how do you create an agent? It's really easy. So here I will show you how to create an agent. It's really easy. You need to have a developer account, and that account in Power Platform is free. You can just look in Google for Power Platform Developer Plan, and then you can create your free account. And once you have that, you can create a solution, and that solution, inside the solution, you can create a new agent, right? When you click here, new agent, and then you can just set the name, set a pretty basic configuration for this agent. When you get to this point, you are in the configuration. So you can go to the configure, and then you can set the name, okay? Demo agent. You can give a description and instructions. And description is basically this agent will help, I don't know. Okay. Can you see my screen? Because I'm not sure.
No, I
No?
don't see your screen.
Oh, why? Sorry about that. I thought I was sharing my screen actually because it is disabled, Jeremy, for some reason.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Yeah, I have someone from the office that just told me, hey, you're not sharing. And since my share button is disabled, I thought I was.
Okay, yeah, try.
There you go. Thank you so much. Can you see now? Can you see it now?
Yeah, we see it. Yeah, thanks, sorry
Okay.
about that.
No problem. Thank you. So yeah, I was saying basically that you can start creating your agent. And here, when you go to Power Platform, make powerapps.com, here you can go to solutions, and then if you have a solution, you can go and create a new agent. And the first page that you see is where you can configure some basic settings like the agent name, demo agent, and then you can set a description like, hey, this agent will help employees to request a new computer, right? And here you can also give some instructions. I will show you later a new feature named Autonomous Agent, where you can give the instructions, and then the agent will work automatically. You will not need user interaction, right? So here, I will not do that for now. I will just create the agent, and the UI for this to create the Copilot Studio is basically very easy. And when you create an agent, basically you have the knowledge, and basically you can add your tables, or you can add PDF with different information like policies, like, hey, how do I request a new computer? And then you upload the PDF, and the agent will have that knowledge and will be able to answer those type of questions. Then you have the topics, where you have different topics, and that is a part of the conversation. Like when I say hello, problem a topic will be triggered, right? Here it is. The topic is triggered, and the agent basically saying, hello, how can I help you? But you can create your own topics here. And actually a topic, you can create that from blank, or from scratch, or you can create that topic with Copilot, like hey, the topic is request new computer. And then you can describe to Copilot what information you want to collect. Like I want to ask the user what computer what computer he needs, she and what, and the memory processor, ask for the email, and then you can click here, create, and that will create that topic for you, and that will take you to the topic. And the topic is basically a set of steps, and you can change the trigger, okay? And these are the phrases that trigger this part of the conversation. Here, edit, okay? So you can edit, or you can actually create a specific response or a specific phrase. So if the agent computer, that will trigger that specific topic, right? So if you go to the topic and you, I did not save it. So let me create that topic again. So it's really easy. Create from Copilot, new request, new computer. Let's do this easier. Like this process will help the user request a new computer. Ask anything we need to know, and at the end, ask for the email. So here, when you create it, you need to save it. And then that's what the Copilot created for you, right? So let me help you request a new computer, what type of computer you need, what specifications you need. Do you have a brand preference? What is your budget? What is your email address? Okay, so that's basically what we have here. And you can set the phrases that will trigger that specific topic, right? I need a new computer. Oh. Computer. For some reason it's not triggering it. Let me take a look. You can make changes to the way the trigger is called. Like here, you can come here and take a look at the properties. Actually, this is because the agent is automatically trying to handle that, but you can change you can look for difference for a specific message. And when you do that, you can enter the conditions or the phrase that will trigger this specific agent or this specific topic, right? So that's how you start creating the agent. Now, I'm going to show you how you can add your own knowledge, okay? And this is very important. I already have an agent created here. Like I said, you have the, 1 second, let me save it. You have the knowledge, and with that knowledge here, you can add, in this case, I'm adding an Azure AI Search service, which, by the way, it's created in Azure. So if I go here, I can take a look at the configuration for that. That is specifically a connection to my database. So if I go here and look for that table in SQL Server, I already have a list of machines here. I get information. I have the machine name, machine type, price, feature, how many cups, the description. So all I needed to do was create a new service in Azure that is connected to my database. And after I get that, Azure create an index for my database. And then all I need to do here is come to my agent, add knowledge, and then you have different knowledge that are different data sources. In this specific case, is Azure AI, but you can add SharePoint folders or libraries. You can add public websites. So here, once you configure this, you can ask questions like, hey, what are the machine types. This is basically a list of coffee machines that I have in an application here. If I take a look at the machines, I have this application. So if I open one, I have the machine types, and then I have uh, different machine types. So it's looking for the information in that database, and that should answer my question. It's taking a while because it's the most basic plan. So here, this information is coming from my SQL Server database. I have the machine type, and I have the different machines that I have in that table. But also, if I ask for a specific machine, I can ask, give me the details of Smart Brew 300, and that is sending this question to my knowledge base. And Copilot with AI has access to that specific information, and it should be able to respond to my question about a specific information for that product. Like here it is, Smart Brew 300 coffee machine, machine type, features, and then the colors that we have available. So if I take a look at the database, so if I go to SQL Server, and I look for the machine name. So here, that is the information that the Azure AI Search service is indexing. So I didn't need to create a specific topic, because in this case, all I needed to do is create my agent and then add the knowledge information about my SQL Server database. And as you can see here, we have different colors: green, red, black, blue, white. And that is what, let me close this. Second, what is, here it is. Here are the colors that are available with from the SQL Server database. Okay, so it's really easy, and you don't need to create a lot or do a lot of configurations, because all you need to do is create an Azure AI service, configure your database, and then integrate that service into your agent. Any questions so far? Good. Okay. Good. So that is the first part of the demo. When you add different information to your agent. Now, you can create your own topics. Like I said, you can create a topic where the user can probably request a new coffee machine. In the demo that I'm doing is basically a coffee machine. So you can create a specific topic. I will show you how to do that. But obviously, before you start creating your agent, you need to create a design for the conversation, okay? Because we all know how it starts and how it ends, okay? Basically, it will start with a message from the user, and then a topic will be triggered, or information will be found in your knowledge base, and the agent will respond the question. But the problem is that in real life is not that simple. Most of the time looks something like this, with the user sending a message, and then the bot sending a response, and then the user asking for something completely different. And then that is how the conversation goes when you create an agent. And you need to understand what the user will be asking, what they expect as a response. And that's the hard part, right? But basically, my suggestion is break the conversation in topics and then implement every single topic once at a time. And that will simplify the logic of creating these agents. Okay, that is the conversational design. But obviously, you have more components in your agent. Like you have generative AI. Like if you want to let the bot answer using public information, or you want to use only your knowledge base. That's what you need to define when you're creating an agent. So why do you need conversational AI? It's basically because you want these agents to simplify the process for the user. You want to help them with a specific response about different procedures, probably in your organization. If you want to give information about the process to request vacations, then probably what you need to do is you need to go to your agent and then go to your knowledge and probably add a PDF with that procedure, right? Click here, look at the PDF, you can select a file and then upload. And Copilot Studio will be smart enough to get information from those PDF and then respond to the user like, hey, how many days in advance I need to request my vacations? You have that answer in your PDF. And all that thing is what you can do here with this agent, right? Now, obviously, the response time is faster. You have more time for innovation when you forget about doing these processes manually. Okay, and then with Copilot, you can actually generate this response automatically. Like we uploaded a table through Azure AI Search, but you can also configure your agent. If we go to overview, you can actually enable different settings. Like if you want to allow your agent to grab information from public AI or public data sources, you can enable that here. And then you will be able to ask, hey, what is Power BI? Even if this agent is not to answer those kind of questions, you can just enable this option and the agent will respond with information from public sites or public data. Okay, so these generative answers, you can enable or you can disable that, or you can just leave your internal knowledge. That's up to you to create. So that's how it works. Basically, with the configuration, if you want to allow external information or only internal information. Obviously, you need to get started with these questions, and the bottom line is basically you need to know your user, what they are looking for, what experience they need. That is something important before you start creating your agent, right? Again, you need to build, publish, and then you will be able to publish your agent. I will show you how to publish the agent to different channels, because you can publish this to your website, or you can publish this to your Facebook page. They just announced that Copilot Studio will be able to integrate with WhatsApp, and that is huge, because you will be able to create agents for WhatsApp. So that's how you will start creating your agent and integrate those bots to be able to respond to the user, provide information, automate processes. And that's how we can start with the demo, right? Now, I have this application here And this is an application where employees can request coffee machines. So the user can come to this application and say, hey, I want a machine for my department, for the IT department, and then they can just send I need this for my team. And then they submit, and we will receive that request or that order into the application here. So if we go to the application, we will see a new order, right? So that should be this. Let me look for that specific order. Let's take a look. Okay, so here probably I need the order ID, so I can go back to my application. This is Power Platform, so we can go to our table, and that specific machine order, I can add the order because I cannot find the order right now, so I can go to my view, and in the active machine order, I can add the order number because I don't see it now. No, actually, should be here. So if I go here, for some reason it's not here. Let me edit that. So I need to go to my table, machine order, and then to my view. I just want to show you which order is that. For some reason it's not published. Should be displayed here, so I can take a look at that order. Let's take a look. Let me edit columns. I don't know why. It's because I'm not in the right. So I was in the wrong table. But here is the new order. But what if we don't want the user to enter that information or enter that information in an application? What if we want an engine? What if we want a copilot to allow the user to do that? What you need to do in this agent, you need to create a new topic. Let me close this. Okay, this is another. So you need to create a new topic, and this topic is named machine order. If I go here, I can see the steps that I'm doing. And here I have the phrases that trigger that process or that topic. Order a machine, I need a machine, please send me a machine. And then I will start asking for questions like, I display a message, sure, I can help you with that. And then I can ask for the machine name and then the color. And then you are using variables here where you can store the information that the user is responding. And at the end, I will ask for the email. And then you can use Power Automate. Here I have a process name, new order, and then we can send that information to our process or our flow, which I will show you here, is basically cloud flows. So it's important that when you start working with Copilot, you know about Dataverse and Copilot, because that's how you integrate your database with Copilot. So I have this new order for Copilot process or flow, and this flow basically gets all the inputs from the Copilot because we are connecting that information. If we take a look here, we have the machine name, the machine color, the username, the comments, and then we basically insert a new record here. And the table, machine orders, and we pass all the parameters, the username, the machine name. That information is sent from the agent. So if we go back to our agent here, and I ask, not this one, this one, again, I restart the conversation here, basically this is the testing pane where I can ask, hey, give me a list of machine types. And then I can ask for the new machine. Okay, so once I have the information and I see which machine I want, I can go to my specific topic by saying, okay, I need a new machine because we have that phrase here. I need a machine. Okay, I need a machine. And that will trigger that topic. And it's asking me, hey, what is the name of the machine you want? I want this one. The problem is, second, I'm not sure about the color. Let me make sure that I have a color. I can go to my application. I can ask for more details, actually. So if I take a look, I can look for that machine here. Light gray, like this color is available, but because I could have asked more details about the machine, but right now I can just type the color. What is my email? So I have a user here ready to test it. So here, why do I need this machine? Because we drink a lot of coffee. Okay, and once you enter that information, the order will be created and it will give me the order number, right? So that is basically, if I go back to my application, I will be able to see the orders. I have the order ID, and if I go to that record, I can see the comments here. So here, what used to be an application to order the machine, the coffee machine, is now an agent. And the great thing about this is that I can publish this on my website and I will get that information. Now, that is one of the demos, okay? The other demo is that you can actually integrate artificial intelligence models into your application. I have a different topic here, and that topic here, let's take a look. So if I go back to my topic that was to order the machine, that topic basically called the flow, and the flow returned the order ID. And once I get the order, I display a message. And the message basically gives me the information about the order number. And basically, I'm displaying that information to the user. But I'm also redirecting that to another topic. And the other topic is asking for feedback to the user. So if I go to that topic, user feedback, you will see that this topic is here. I created that one, user feedback topic. Is triggered not by a phrase, but by a redirection. When the user requests the machine and the process finished, it redirects the original topic to this feedback topic. Okay, and basically it's asking, hey, can you give us your feedback? It's recording that information here in a variable, and then it's calling another flow named user feedback flow, which I will show you here. So I can go back to my flow, and this time I'm using AI to analyze the sentiment of the feedback. So if I go here to that topic, it should be user feedback flow. Here it is. So it's getting the information for the user. It's receiving the email, which I have in the variable. Here it's getting the user feedback and the email, and then I'm using this component from Power Platform name AI Builder. And here I'm using a model named sentiment analysis, right? And this sentiment analysis, I'm passing as a parameter the user feedback and the language. So basically, the user is sending the feedback in English. I need you to analyze that. And then, as the result, we get the overall sentiment, right? And I am inserting that information here in a table. I'm inserting the sentiment, the user feedback, and also the user email. So if we go back, we can see that the agent responded with the order number, and then it redirects the conversation to a different topic. And this topic is basically asking for the feedback. So what do you think about our product and services? Okay, I really liked the agent. It's great to order my coffee machine here. So the user send the feedback, and once we do that, or the user does that, we thanks for the feedback, but it automatically inserted a new record in a table that I have. It's named user feedback. So if I go here, I can take a look at the response, like, okay, I really like the agent, it's great to order, and we get this response. So that is a positive feedback. And you could also say, okay, if we get a negative, do something else, like send an email to the manager so he can reach out to this employee and ask why he didn't like it or get more details. But this is how we can integrate AI Builder to use these AI models to get information. Okay, feel free to ask anything at any point. I'm here to help. So that's AI. Okay, that's another part of the process. Now we also have the other part of the demo is a new feature for Copilot Studio named autonomous agents. Okay, so what if we don't want the user to cancel the order here? Instead of the user coming back to the agent and trying to cancel the order, like, hey, I want to cancel my order. How about if we automate that process by receiving an email and doing the process? That's how we can do. Well, that's where the autonomous agent can help us. So I created a different agent, but the main difference here is that instead of creating topics, okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to create a topic. I want to create an agent that is smart enough to process those cancellation requests. Okay, so I have the description here. I skipped this part in the other chat because I didn't need it. I didn't need to add the instruction, but here I need the instructions. So take a look. So I'm basically saying you are the manager for Contoso Coffee and will validate if an order can be canceled based on the machine price and the order status. You will get the email body and will get the order number, which start with this prefix, and you will get the reason to cancel, okay, which is the description for the cancellation. And then you will call this action named Copilot Cancel Order version 2, and you will pass the order number and the reason to cancel, okay, because we want this to be automatic. Okay, we don't want, so, and then you will send an email to the user with the outcome of the cancellation. Okay, you can only cancel when the order is cheaper than 500 USD, and the order is not approved yet. So I created another flow. I will show that flow here. So here in the cloud flows, I have that Copilot cancel order, and I add that as an action to my flow. So if I take a look here, it's basically receiving the order number and the reason to cancel. And then it will get the order detail from the table, and it will start evaluating the price, the status, and the order and the order ID. And you can add conditions like, hey, if the order status is not equal to 0, that's the first status, then tell the user that that order cannot be canceled because of the status, but then evaluate the price. We can only cancel orders that are less than 500. If they order a machine above that, we let the user know that only orders with a value of 500 will be able to cancel. If the conditions are met, then update the row, change the status, and add the reason to cancel. So this will be automatic. So let's take a look at the last order we created. So it's here. It's for $750. That order should not be canceled. So here, for that specific agent, we have the trigger action. Because remember, we don't have a UI here. It's basically the user sending an email. So if we take a look at this, you will see that this action or this agent will only be triggered when a new mail arrives with a specific subject, order cancellation request. That's when this agent will be triggered. So if I go to my email and I send a new email here, let's pretend we are the user that requests the machine, and then the user sets the specific subject, that's order cancellation, and then the user will ask in the body of the email the cancellation. Basically, we don't have a specific layout. He just add that to the body of the email. So I will try to cancel this order 1007, and I will send the email like, hey, I want to cancel that order. Send that. And basically what is happening here is that when the email arrives like here, the agent will get the body of the email and will try to get the order number and the reason for cancellation. Even if it's not a table, it's not a form, it will just, with AI, it will try to get that information and then call the Power Automate flow and will try to cancel that specific order. And let's see if that works, because sometimes it gets messy. Let's say, there you go. I have my response. I didn't create this message. I just asked the agent, hey, let the user know about the outcome of the process. So, dear Julian, we regret to inform you that your order cannot be canceled because only orders 500 or less can be canceled, and your order is valued at 750. So let's fix that. Let's try to fix that order. Let's put a different price. Let's add $4.99, save. And then I will send the email again, same email, same body. Remember, here is important the subject, because that's what is triggering the autonomous agent, right? So we're almost done here. So I will send that again, and let's try and see if the order order gets canceled. So let me go back to the order. Here is the order. The user should receive the response from the agent. I send the email. The AI will process the body of the email, and let's see if that cancels our order. Remember, you don't have to create the response. The AI automatically understand what happened with the process and will create the response email to the user. You can actually ask with a prompt, hey, I want this to be 2 paragraph, or I want you to be more formal, or anything, right? So that's what you need to do. So here, let's see if that works. Refresh. It's not working. Sometimes it's not working. What you can do here is you can take a look at the process here and see if it failed, right? Because sometimes the AI, let's see, it did not run. I don't know why. Let's take a look. Oh, it's because of the header of the subject. I put a different subject that is not correct, so I need to put the correct subject because in order for this to work. So I will send again, and that should make it. That should get the response. Okay, so that should trigger that. You can take a look at how many times the flow executed. If there was any error, you can validate that in Power Automate. So let's take a look. The process should be running. This is pretty new, so sometimes it fails. So let me go back to the process. So succeeded. We should get the email anytime. Here it is. It's a pretty simple message here. Your order has been canceled. If we take a look at the order, the status change to cancel, and we get the approval comments. And this was taken from the body of the email. So these are autonomous agents, and I think this is a new great feature that we can implement to automate process instead of creating an agent or the user interacting with the agent. So in summary, what makes an agent successful is basically just a few things. The language they use, knowing when to transfer to a human. And basically, I think those are the most important things when you're trying to create a very effective agent, and that's how you can create this agent that will automate processes in organizations. Okay. Any question? Jeremy, any question?
Yeah, great job. That was awesome, Juan. That was really cool seeing how you could tie the email to the Dataverse model-driven app into Copilot Studio. That was awesome. Great job. Yeah, any questions from the audience?
Thank you, thank you. I think that what makes these tools useful, right? So